Welcome to my Dawn of the Dead 1978 filming locations. We're going to go to Monroeville Mall and check out the Living Dead Museum as well. And we're going to match up some stuff around Monroeville Mall from the film. Let's go.
What the hell is it?
Here we are, Monroeville Mall, Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Dawn of the Dead, 1978. Unfortunately, where they refuel at the airport, I was really excited to hit that, but the whole road was closed, a whole bunch of construction taking place. Fortunately, cannot get anywhere near there. They got no trespassing signs up, saw the road, cannot get down it, can't walk down it. So, we're here. Here we go, Monroeville Mall. After that, they land their plane on the roof, make their way down into the mall. I'm gonna cover what I can. This has been covered inside and out by many YouTubers. So I'm gonna do my best, point out some of my favorite parts in the movie, and we'll see what we see. 1978. George A. Romero classic. I am wearing a Halloween 1978 shirt.
Some kind of instinct, memory of what they used to do.
This will be kind of like a grand mall tour. I'm just going to kind of show every nook and cranny that I can. Check out the whole zombie museum. Very excited for that. Much to see here, so I'm probably not going to go in any particular order to the film. First thing I'm going to note, of course, is that all the flooring is the same as it was in the film. Same with all these main pillars all throughout the mall. These are all in Dawn of the Dead. All these pillars. And the actual light fixtures that were in the film, those are in the museum, so we'll probably be able to take a look at those soon. Heading down one of the escalators here. Going to pay my respects to the George A. Romero bust over here. Again, we'll be seeing a piece of the actual escalators that were used in Dawn of the Dead. These aren't the actual escalators here. But again, all of these pillars here still have the same designs on them here. Pretty awesome. Got the George A. Romero bust here, 1940 to 2017, one of the founding fathers of the Pittsburgh film industry. George Andrew Romero, born on February 4th, 1940 in the Bronx, New York, using his uncle's 8mm camera. He made his first film at age 14. Came to Pittsburgh in '57 to study at Carnegie Tech. 6 years later, his first production company, The Latin Image, began to produce local TV commercials and industrial films. In 1967, Romero and his partners began production on their first feature, a horror film entitled Night of the Living Dead, which changed the course of the genre forever. 10 years after his debut, George Romero, having now accumulated a loyal family of local performers, 10 years after his debut, brought us Dawn of the Dead, filmed right here, cementing his position as a true American visionary. He's buried up in Canada, where I'm from, Toronto. The Living Dead Museum is just up here. We're going to hit that in just a short while. Many similarities, skylights, design, roof, all that. Wow, very similar. Plus they don't have that. I think this is where that big tower thing was set up. I could be mistaken. I think so though. But I guess soon this will be completely dedicated to George A. Romero. Very soon. Need to wet my whistle here. Got a Julie's bubble tea and smoothie. It's just a pumpkin spice cold brew. Pretty good. I thought it was gonna be warm, but this is fine. This is good.
Prey on each other. That's the difference. They attack.
All this stone. So cool. And there is a lot to point out here. Here's where all the zombies would have been tapping on the glass right over here. This is that glass. All the zombies would have been piled up here at the doorway, including that fat zombie over here. The belly zombie, pushing his belly up against these window panes. You can see this whole stone wall behind him.
They prey on humans. They do not prey on each other. That's the difference.
Right there. Right there. All the stonework's still the same. We'll get a view from outside. We'll go through the sliding doors. All the zombies trying to get in here. This whole area utilized heavily. Unbelievable. It's all still the same. And where the zombie was pushing his belly against the glass right there. More shots here. Just picture all the zombies right here. That is super cool. A lot of this is the same way. Like, I thought that this opened up in the film, so like, you can actually see this door. It's open right now, but this door right here in the film, as you can see, you can see this brick in the film. So the wall's been changed a bit, but you can see that little see the bricks right there in the clip I'm going to show you. Yeah, there's that little brick inlet right there. So much still looks the same. Legendary embankment right here. I think there was a lot more foliage in the film, but definitely can make out that whole strip mall over here, which is a Firestone over here now. Definitely get a lot of shots of that in the film. Old Macy's over here. You get some shots of them pulling the trucks around. They're gonna block up the entryways to keep the zombies from getting in.
Cannibalism in the true sense of the word implies an interspecies activity.
From this side, you can see that strip mall right there. Try to include a matchup from that. That's where that hill was that they came down the trucks. So you see that strip mall there in the distance. You get a good shot of that from on the rooftop. The rooftop scenes there, so. Different stores, of course, but still looks the same from afar. And here's the embankment on the other side. This is the coolest thing to me right here. Can't believe I'm walking down. I'm gonna walk down this embankment, my beverage. Just all the zombies right here, tapping on the glass, trying to make their way in, and you got this as the background. Still the exact same since 1978. Phenomenal. 45 years on. Damn cool. Moving the trucks, that's when poor Roger gets bit. Roger, pretty much everyone's favorite characters, Roger and Peter and Steve, but Roger gets it while they're moving all the trucks. to block the way. You'll find the classic hallway here where a ton of stuff can be matched up. This would be the hallway where they barricaded themselves down here. This hallway, heavily utilized. These gumball machines they're not here. Down this way towards the bathrooms. So, if you push down this hallway, down here is where they actually barricaded themselves in before the zombies broke in. So, walls were a different color in the film, but you can actually see these doors. Double doors right here that they barricaded, locked themselves in there until, like I said, the zombies broke their way in. That was right here. Pretty cool. There's those double doors. That's pretty cool to see. So, a lot went down right here. A lot went down right here. Shot at those doors here, seen in the film. That's wicked. And all the ridges and everything in the wall pattern is the same, it's just a different color. Got a bunch of posters up here now. They're not the same drinking fountains, but this was the drinking fountain area. It's the same. You see those doors. The fountains are still in the same area. Different fountains, same area. Yeah, they're coming and going from this area like many times throughout the film. Have their little hideout back there. Look at this hallway before I push you on here. We're gonna get a shot. I'm gonna show here of Steve once he's been zombified coming around this corner right here. Some of these people are like zombies. It's not much different than the film. Not much different than the film. Just picture all the zombies walking about.
Christmas time down there, buddy.
That city, brother.
From over here, I'm going to kind of show where Penny's was set up. Penny's was actually located right here. 2 levels. There's now a theater over here. I already can't get over the fact all these pillars seen in Dawn of the Dead. So this is the Penny's up here. It's now a Pandora. And a Forever 21 over here, and H&M. Yeah, this was the location of Penny's. They're shooting the zombies out of the windows right here. Roger and Peter. They barricade themselves in here. They're utilizing both levels. That was all right here. In fact, pretty sure some of these pillars were actually part of the Penny's when it was here. This was like the main drag as you would enter, right? Come through the sliding doors. It was all right here. All this area. It's too bad the Penny's isn't still here. It was right around this vicinity. A lot went down inside of Penny's. So the food court area over here, I believe, was where the ice rink was in the film. And I hear they actually, the ice rink's actually still there. They just built everything over it, I think. So, pretty interesting. That's where the ice rink would have been, just down here. So when the raiders show up, They moved the trucks from right here. And these all open up. Kind of like a bay door. This opens up. And they were all riding in there. Everything was all good till the raiders started coming in. They had food, they had money, they were playing cards, having a good time, then the raiders showed up. Yeah, this whole embankment, heavily seen in the film. I'm glad that all this still looks the same. It's very cool. Very cool to visit this mall. Like I said, I'm not going to be so extremely thorough as I am in some of my videos. Taking you all around this place. Can't wait to check out the museum. They did come in this way. Tom Savini and the rest of the raiders biking in this way. And all the zombies too, because they had moved the trucks, opened up these doors. So you get lots of shots of this part of the mall right here. Probably the most heavily used entrance in the film. Cool, wish there wasn't overhead music here while I'm trying to line some of this up, but alright, I wish I had more time to do this today. This is where the fountain was, another angle of that. This all looks the same up here, all of that. Very cool. Fountain area here. The raiders were driving the bikes, doing circles around this area. The raiders hard at work on their bikes. That was all done here. It's now a kids' play area. Still pretty cool. There's no more room in hell. The dead will walk the earth. Shot up there of the raiders when they were raiding the mall there. And here is what they were driving. Wow, look at that. Old Harley with the sidecar. From Dawn of the Dead, the old Electroglide. Man, that's pretty cool. Can't wait to check out this Living Dead museum. Yes. That's pretty cool right there though. The raiders.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Son of a bitch.
This would have been where the guy was getting his blood pressure checked during this during the zombies running wild. They're at war. This guy's getting his blood pressure checked right here.
Oh man, what the hell are you doing playing around? Someone's upstairs shooting at me.
Still match up all these skylights here. All these still look the same. You can see where some of that old stuff was up there. This is where the tower was, right here. The coverage of the Living Dead Museum. This is gonna be pretty cool. We got lots of good stuff in here. It's great shirts. Already wearing my Halloween the night he came home shirt, but
I spent my up until I was 19.
it's a horror fan's paradise in here. Merch, books,
Yeah,
train doesn't bother me.
posters.
We stayed at her house this past couple nights. The first time it's so quiet out here.
All the classics right here.
Into the city.
House is here near train tracks, right next to anything. So, have people over to stay there and have that parties.
There we go, making of Dawn of the Dead. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. I'll cover what I can. The road to conceiving, producing, and distributing Dawn of the Dead. Dawn. It was a Herculean task, taking nearly a decade to complete. From the onset, director George A. Romero envisioned his Living Dead saga in 3 stages, with each detailing the growth of the zombies as a replacement society. The first Night of the Living Dead, a break came circa early '74 when Romero was given a tour of the Monroeville Mall right here by Mark Mason of the Oxford Development Company. Mall's owner Mason explained to Romero that the mall was teeming with crawl spaces and jokingly suggested how they'd provide a hideaway in an emergency, and it inspired Romero to begin to draw up his second Living Dead tale. Original theatrical poster here. And there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Sucks we didn't get to stop by that airport area, but Italian director expressed interest in collaborating with Romero. Argento flew out to Pittsburgh, where he was given a tour of the mall, shown a new synopsis, one closer to the final script. Finally, the Cannes Festival in May 1977, Romero and producer Richard Rubinstein made a co-financing deal with Argento and Italian film producers Alfredo and Claudio Cuomo. Among those brought on board, Tom Savini, of course, who acted in the film. But with his experience in special makeup effects, he was instructed by Romero to start thinking of ways to kill people. He has this legendary say goodbye, creep scene that was filmed here in the mall. Some shots of those legendary pillars we've been walking by. That's where the fountain was. There's the whole crew right there. On went before the cameras on the 6th of November 1977 with exterior shots of zombies roaming the mall's parking lot. Resuming a week later on November 13th, the first phase of Dawn shoot commenced. With a tight schedule, the production put in 6 and even 7-day work weeks. Scenes during this phase included various ones within and around the mall, the B&P truck lot, the Harold W. Brown Memorial Field airfield, which was unfortunately closed today, the police dock, the Redneck Posse, helicopter interiors, and the SWAT raid near the film's opening. Due to Christmas decorations hung in the mall that altered its look, the production went on hiatus for 3 weeks on December 13th. Utilizing the downtime, Romero assembled a rough edit of the footage shot thus far. Always got to be planning ahead. Photography for Dawn resumed on January 4th, '78. Scenes lensed in this phase included Richard France, the eye-patched scientist, the TV studio, and the elaborate biker raid on the mall. Wow. And upon its release, offering the lowest upfront money, Richard Hassanian, there's his name there, co-president of the New York-based United Film Distribution Company, agreed to distribute Dawn in its unrated form. Dawn went in a general release in the U.S. in April '79. Continuing on, we're going to see a lot more than just Dawn of the Dead stuff here. You're going to see some screen-used gems from Evil Dead 2. Look at this, here's the Dawn of the Dead poster signed by pretty much the whole cast right here. That is crazy. The boiler room zombie. Very cool. The original Dawn of the Dead in 3D. Some more shots. There's that one. Was on the ice rink. The zombies couldn't walk on ice. There's them crowding around the glass. Wow. Steve in the elevator. Right, we got Jim Crut, helicopter zombie. The helicopter zombie. I really wanted to get that office building right there, where they find the lumberjack zombie scene right there. Really wanted to get onto that property, but a lot of construction going down there. It was closed off. Lots of other cool stuff here, though, from Dawn of the Dead. These were the screen-used JCPenney ceiling lights right here. Here's the machete that Tom Savini, cutout machete from unidentified production. Huh. So I think this is it, but wow, pretty cool. There's the original VHS down there. Original production props from the film. Some limbs right there. Here's a can of Spam. These are screen used right here. This Iron City beer. Good beer. Good beer. One of the bullets right there. Here's the original screen used JCPenney alarm bell. And original motion picture soundtrack right there. Now this is going to be one of my favorite parts right here. We have the elevator from the film. They moved this into the museum. And look, we got Steve. They got Steve, who unfortunately was working his way up into this area of the elevator when one of those bastard raiders shot him. Just when you respect him fully. He gets shot and then attacked by zombies. That's how he ends up. That is pretty good. That is a very cool look-alike right there. That's good. That's artwork right there. This is the elevator though, from the film. Crazy to see the actual elevator. Look at that. Poor Steve. Poor Steve, but he survived long enough. Lots of Steve in the elevator. Got a screen with some matchups from the film, him in the elevator. Notice the wood and all that. There's a shot from above that opening panel. There's them coming into the elevator. Notice that piece behind him and all the wood. There you go. It's that piece right there, the wood. Wow. I want this elevator. JCPenney portable TV. Some other shots. There's Steve. There's zombie shots. And from the mouth of George A. Romero. Some early thoughts on potential sequel to A Night of the Living Dead. There's all kinds of stuff you can learn about the film in here. I don't want to go over every little nook and cranny in case you want to come and see all this for yourself. Here's a Steve calendar, which actually is just really 2006. I like beer. On why he kept I like the beer. Yeah, I can attest to that. That Iron City beer is very good. That's what he said in New York Magazine, 1981, on why he kept living in, making movies in Pittsburgh. I like the beer. Steel City beer, man. My zombies have already, you know, they've gotten a taste of McDonald's and the good things in life and just can't figure out why that's not happening anymore, you know? They're just sort of lost souls on the nature of his zombies. Rest in peace, George A. Romero. Still gotta visit his final resting spot in the country I come from, Canada. He's buried in Toronto. So. Had to fight battles over the ending of Dawn of the Dead because everyone said, here's this climactic sequence and you're playing a polka? Legendary stuff here. Dawn of the Dead screen use costume from the rooftop shootout. The vest worn by John Amplis. And the Mall Raiders. You can see some of the Raiders jackets. So we got Roger's whole uniform here. The gas mask. I don't know if that gun is screen used. But yeah, we got a Raiders uniform here. Jacket worn by Joe Shelby. And the motorcycle boots worn by Nick Tallow. Wow, very cool. SWAT team rifles. That is a screen used SWAT team rifle right there. The turtleneck jersey and the gas mask as well. What's up, Raj? The bright orange balls that Peter's hitting off the wall on the roof to get some exercise. Wow, very cool. So much. Even this guy, famous for taking the machete in the head. Wow. There exist 3 different versions and distinct versions, or cuts, from Dawn of the Dead. From these 3, several subversions were derived. each made to conform to the sensibilities and censorship, rules and regulation into which the film was released. And which country? Countries and their rules. The original cut is the best. And that's how it was supposed to be. That's how Romero wanted it. That's how it should be. There's the Cannes cut, which is the extended cut. I like the extended cut, directed cut. Yeah, over 2 hours. It's the one I've been watching. The European cut is only 2 hours even. And the American theatrical cut, only 127-minute runtime, so always a 2-hour film anyway that you slice it. Love that shot of them in the mall there. Great film, great film. This goes over the Japanese theatrical version and Suspiria cut. So much to read up on here. I talk about one of my other favorite zombie films, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. So there's actually some screen-used gems from Evil Dead 2 in here. This is pretty crazy. Look at this. This is the Evil Dead workshop. Pretty wicked. Holy crap. Evil Dead workshop. Wow. The original Evil Dead workshop from the movie Evil Dead 2. That's it. That is it. And this is these are foam stones from the cabin fireplace. Here's the interior hall wall right here. And we have the original cabin hall door right here. These are in that film that you love so much. Here we have prop alike, so I'm not positive these are screen used, but here's the tape recorder and pages from the Necronomicon right here. And of course the original theatrical poster, one of my favorites, Evil Dead 2. Well, that is classic. I need to get a shirt of that. There's another cabin hall door from the interior, right there. Prop alikes mean they were not screen used, because I think it would just say screen used. I mean, it looks like they were, but look at that. We got the chainsaw shotgun. Look at that. It looks like it was, but perhaps not. And these are supposedly pages from the film. Okay, and we got a newspaper article down here from the screen-used cabin in Evil Dead 2. Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. Cabin front door. Cabin back door. They got the whole thing in here. The whole thing is just in pieces. We could build it up right now and play Evil Dead 2. Evil walking forestry. No way. Really? Huh. Doesn't look like that in the film, does it? That's the cabin exterior wall. Here's the cabin back window frame. The tin porch roof right there. And there are the shutters in the window. Okay, that's just phenomenal that they have this stuff in here. Wow. Talking about a lot more than just Dawn of the Dead in this. Ash versus Evil Dead. Some great movie posters. Mindhunter, we're just at a spot from Kingpin from that show. Zach and Miri make a porno. Hilarious film. They also did one scene, I think. I think it was just one scene here in Monroeville Mall, and they're on the escalators. Craig Robinson and Seth Rogen. The Crazies, the classic Creep Show, Day of the Dead. Everyone's favorite zombie films. This is probably next to the original Night of the Living Dead. I think this is my favorite. The Return of the Living Dead. They're back from the grave and ready to party. Yes. Original. Oh, I love that Night of the Living Dead poster right there. Look at that. There is so much to go over here. It's crazy. You could spend a week in here. Great props. Just covering every single classic zombie film. Night of the Living Dead farmhouse. Diorama. There's the clock tower, and that was set up here. Here's a screen-used hall door from The Crazies. This was in the film The Crazies. Pretty cool. George A. Romero filmography. His first film, The Man from the Meteor. It was a short film, 1954. Gorilla, Earth Bottom, Curly, Slant. It's got all the years there as well. He did a lot of work even before Night of the Living Dead. It took him a while to reinvent that zombie story to his liking, and there it is, Dawn of the Dead. Might have been called Zombie, Zombie, Zombies. I think Dawn of the Dead is better. Did I say night? I meant dawn. Dawn of the Dead. Read about his early life, creating Night of the Living Dead, 70s and early 80s. This is from The Crazies. I like The Crazies. The Crazies is alright. Screen used futuristic knight, helmet, and armor. Alright. I could waste a lot of time matching up where the escalators actually were, but how about actually touching the escalators? Screen used. It's a piece of the escalator here, used in Dawn of the Dead. That is deadly. Screen used, folks. Screen used. Wow. Here's how the mall looked. Here's where the clock tower was there. The Playful Waters. The fountain court, no longer there. And they had the ice skating rink. Wow, that is too cool. Some Dawn of the Dead trivia. And over here, we have the security guard zombie. That is the 1978 era security uniform. When I was just earlier in this room just moments ago, and I was talking about the escalator, screen used escalator piece here, I didn't notice the whole siding here. It's got the whole side panel, the base trim and the steps. Look at that. I did notice that. I was just kind of looking at that. Not supposed to touch them, but I just did. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Gotta get all that. Screen used. Original interior mall light fixtures. So these are all over the mall. One's actually signed right here by Tom Savini. Those are actually in the film. Those are all over the mall. That's what the original ones look like. Stay scared. George Romero. Signed it right there. Make that there. Very cool. Shot from the film right there. See, it looks, the main entryway looks pretty much the same today. This is not the main entryway where I started the video, as this is where most of the zombies are making their way in. See, this is actually like, this opens like open wide, so when the raiders come in, they come in that way, but the doors are here on the side. So they're all tapping on the glass, and once this opens up, the raiders came in. There's the embankment. Pretty cool. Yeah, Romero found the perfect setting to explore his thoughts on American culture. Ultimately, as Dawn of the Dead's cathedral of consumerism, the mall is as vital to the film's narrative as is 4 protagonist biker gangs and hordes of flesh-seeking zombies. Hell yeah. The tower when that stood there. What the mall was set up like at that time. See the escalators like that, as I showed earlier, pennies were like stretched between those escalators in that center section. Pennies went all the way across. Now it's all opened up and there's the movie theater in there and then the lower level. Now this is what it was like in the theater. That's supposed to be the fountain over there. There's the guy behind the escalator and he's checking his blood. escalator zombie. There's the tower over here. The tower right there. And the ice rink. Wow. It's pretty awesome. And a mall map up there. Nice. Hey, got like a timeline. It's kind of like a zombie timeline. This is neat. So it starts at the beginning, around 68, early 70. By the time we got into 78, we were at Dawn of the Dead. Here's the lumberjack zombie right here. Man, I wish I could have got that airport spot, but it is what it is. From the film Zombie. Of course, Michael Jackson. Zombified Michael Jackson from Thriller. He freaked a lot of people out. Dead World and Return of the Living Dead. Day of the Dead. Dead Alive. So many zombie classics, all the way up to the 2000s, 28 Days Later and beyond. The Dawn of the Dead remake from 2004, which is pretty good too. Shaun of the Dead, Land of the Dead. Zombieland with Woody Harrelson. Wow. All the way to The Walking Dead. Wow. Man, I just want to spend a week here, man. It's crazy. Whole timeline. And they don't have a Hall of Fame. This is the Mall of Fame. Pretty cool. This is signed by pretty much everybody. From George Romero to Tom Savini, every other actor that played in those films. Judy Ridley. Very cool. Oh, there's Flyboy right there. Flyboy. Flyboy. Come on, Flyboy. There's Tom again there. Tom Savini. Everybody loves Tom Savini. Wow. Their handprints and their John Hancocks. And of course, photos and stuff of them signing the Mall of Fame, including Romero himself. Pretty awesome. Yeah, there's Johnny right there. They're coming to get you, Barbara. There. A few things from Land of the Dead here. Big Daddy production costume. Big Daddy's jackhammer right there. Tambourine zombie production costume. Slack production costume. I wasn't as big of a fan of Land of the Dead as most of the others, but like all of them, it's got its cult following. I do own it. Some other autographs and pictures from Dawn of the Dead. Tom Savini. I love that one. That's my favorite. Peter. Got a Taco Deluxe Supreme talking back at me. I'm gonna be a while. Some good shots right there. Tower once stood right here, right by the George Romero bust. It's gonna be awesome when this is all dedicated to Romero. So the tower set up right here. We'll see the Living Dead Museum, one floor above the Romero statue. Same end as the tower. It's too bad the tower wasn't still here. Pretty damn cool. These pillars, man, still the same. Very cool. Very cool. Dawn of the Dead, 1978. Thanks again, everybody. Took you into the mall. We checked out some of the Living Dead Museum. This is not an entryway that I think they used in the film at all, but just gonna end it here. Just gonna end it here. Please like, please subscribe. Did the best I could. If you're new here, subscribe and let you know when a new episode goes up. Never know what you may be missing here on the Mr. Thrasha Show. I know other people have done way more thorough jobs. I was kind of limited on time. I'd like to come back, but I think we got a lot of good stuff. Thanks again. Check out other filming locations on my playlist. There are much more thorough ones, like Halloween. Okay.
Enjoying the whole thing.